So lately we've been working on a couple new small features for multiplayer, and these will be out in public beta within a day or two, I think, and then it should be in public release next week. So here you can already see we've got more options here, and so we've kind of reorganized them to make them a little easier to browse through. So the first ones are the same. You can create multiplayer, you can join a game, etc. Same options for access and for chat. But the new stuff is down here. So first of all, we know a lot of players would like to be able to write a little description about the game that they're creating so other players can get an idea of what kind of game it is. And it's hard to put all that information in the game name. So instead of doing a free-form description, which could lead to some inappropriate content that's just out there for everybody to see, and we don't want to have to monitor that and have reporting on that. So instead we've created this system of tags. And so if you click this tag, pull down, there's right now a list of different tags you can choose from, and you click on these, and let's see what kind of game we're going to make here. Let's make a realistic exploration game. And so when other players are in the multiplayer lobby and browsing games, they'll see those tags and they can use that to help decide what game to join. Difficulty, that's the same. Another new option is the territory configuration. And so this is one of these things, actually all these things we've been planning since last summer, early fall. But then we got all caught up in Slough Creek, and then the DLC codes, and then the age perks and all that stuff. So we're finally getting back to these, getting them set up. So there are now 4 different maps you can choose for the configuration of the stranger territories in the unclaimed area. So here's the one that's been in the game all along, but you can choose one that's got more down in the Lamar Valley if you want to play down there initially, and then a couple others. This one is the Upper Amethyst, and it's actually a much larger unclaimed area if you want to have a little less pressure in the early part of the game about claiming some territory. And then the Lower Amethyst actually has a smaller area of unclaimed if you want to take on a bigger challenge like that. And then this last new option is the sleep mode. So how the game's always worked is that when the host decides when to sleep, and when the host goes to sleep, everybody else has to go to sleep. And if they get a little countdown to do that, and if they're in stranger territory, they need to get out of stranger territory, and if they don't, then they're teleported to the host. And we think that makes a lot of sense for a lot of games that hosts want to create, but we understand that that's not always the best way for it to work for some games, to have the host in charge in that way. And so we've got this new option called a fixed schedule. And this is basically sets up 2 times when all wolves have to sleep. And these are when wolves actually sleep generally, from late morning to mid-afternoon, because that's the heat of the day and they don't want to be running around, and then in the middle of the night. So you're awake in the morning and in the evening, basically, because wolves are generally crepuscular in that way in terms of when they hunt. So we'll choose that, and so now we get into the game, and the first thing you'll notice is that it's early. It's earlier than it has been when starting a multiplayer game. It's just before sunrise, and this is when wolves get up and start their day. We've always had it start about 9 a.m. or 10 a.m., which is, suitable for a non-morning person like me, but that's not how wolves live their lives. They get up before sunrise. And so now in multiplayer, you'll get up before sunrise too, and this is so you get a full 4 hours of wake time before the first scheduled sleep period, which is at 10 a.m. And you can check any time to see how many minutes remain until the next sleep period. Here in Pack Info, it tells you that. And then when that time approaches, 1 minute out, you'll get a little alert here, just so you know, time to get ready for sleep. And then that minute passes, it is time to sleep, and your wolf goes to sleep automatically. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And you'll sleep for 8 hours, give or take. Now, if the game is in this fixed sleep schedule mode, but all players go to sleep at some other time of day, time will accelerate then too. Nobody's forced to sleep then, but if everybody happens to be sleeping, time will speed up. So that is the new fixed sleep schedule. So one more thing about the tags. What we've got here now are just an initial set of tags that we've brainstormed with some beta testers, but we are looking for suggestions for more tags. I don't want to have too many, but maybe 15 or so of just really common things that would be good to let others that would be good to let players know about what kind of game it is. And then that will also free up the game name, where you can put something that's really more unique and specific about the game, because the tags will communicate a lot of the kind of normal things that people are using the title for now. And then the tags can communicate these other aspects of the game. So if you have an idea for tags, write them in the comments below, and we'll look those over, and we would like to add another half dozen or so to these, and so we'll see what people suggest. So all this is coming very soon in public beta within a few days, and then released next week. Of course, this doesn't include Slough Creek multiplayer, which obviously lots of people are eager for, and unfortunately that's going to be a good long while before that's ready. We just have to get some other things working. I talked about that on last dev blog, but it's definitely going to come. Also, I just want to note that we're not going to be doing dev blogs every week, and we're not even necessarily going to do a text announcement every week. Some weeks there's just not really anything to say. So if a Thursday rolls around and there's nothing from us, don't worry. It's very unlikely that we're dead or mortally wounded, and it just means there's really nothing to share this week. But rest assured, we're working away, and much more is in the works and still to come to WolfQuest.